It's time now to answer some of your business questions. Larry and Kalika are back with us. The first one is about buying other companies.
I would like to grow my company through acquisitions. What is the best way to do that when I don't have a very strong balance sheet?
You both nod your head there.
The question of the ages.
All right, Larry, what do you think? Is there a way?
Well, there is a way, but let's be honest, it's a long, hard way to get there if you don't have a strong balance sheet. So I would suggest really looking at strategic alliances with people who have done it before. In the beginning, you're going to have to give up a lot more on these deals, on these acquisitions, than you would if you've got an amazing long track record and a big bank account. But if you don't have a strong balance sheet, you're going to have to give away a big part of the store from the start. But we've got to remember, somebody's going to be signing on these loans, right? And so someone's got to guarantee in these things nowadays. And so I find it's a strong strategic partner who does have a strong balance sheet. And then just kind of work into it.
What do you think, Kalika?
You know, I really agree too. I think that the main focus really should be to work on your balance sheet first. But then if you don't have a strong balance sheet, you may want to try equity financing. And that only assumes if you have a great profit and loss statement, that you're doing better revenues and profits than your competitor.
Right, that people believe in you, that they want to be a part of your company. Okay, let's move on to the next one. It's an email from Stephanie, and she writes, I have a very good small business idea. I was told to be careful who I share it with. What are the steps I should take? Who can I trust with this idea? We used to get this question all the time, and we haven't in a few years, funnily enough. I'd love to get your opinion because people have wide opinions on this, various opinions. Okay, Kalika.
So it really just depends on which stage you're at. You know, are you in the napkin stage when you're still formulating the idea? If so, then I would do some online research and see, one, is the product patentable? That's what I did when I did my LuxLink purse hook product. I checked the USPTO.gov website.
Did you tell anyone about it?
I did. I told my husband.
But that's it.
Yes.
So in that early stage, you wouldn't. At what point do you feel comfortable sharing it with other people?
When I already had my idea formulated already, a little bit more, and then I knew that there was a minimum viable product.
So just the idea. You didn't have a product. The company wasn't formed yet. You just had tested it. You know there's an idea that will work.
Yeah, and I think that's okay to do. But the one thing that as you share your idea with trusted advisors, a lot of times you're going to get a lot of negativity. And if I listened to all those trusted advisors, I probably wouldn't have worldwide patents that I do today.
Right. Okay. What about the people who are scared of somebody stealing their idea?
Yeah, I take a different approach on this just a little bit. I do believe that we need to be careful about just, blabbing it to the world, but how do you know you've got a great idea unless you actually start telling people about this great idea? I had a coaching client who came up and told me, hey, I've got this amazing idea, and she wanted me to sign a confidentiality agreement, which I think we ought to be doing, confidentiality agreements, non-disclosures, non-circumvents, absolutely. But then when we went to the USPTO office and looked, guess what? There were 8 other patents out there for products that she thought was like the first to market. Well, it's not. Here's the thing. Most people have great ideas and they're afraid to share them, but 99.9% of the people who have that idea are never going to do anything with it. They're never going to take it to market. They're never going to launch it because they don't have the guts to do it. So I say, tell people about it, get feedback. This whole minimum viable product is so powerful. We have to focus on this.
Right.
But I'd be talking to people, yes, protect yourself though.
Right, okay, so share, maybe what I'm getting from you guys is share it and you need feedback. Just be careful who you share it with.
Well, Kalika had a great point. As this, have a board of advisors, trusted advisors. Bounce it off of them first because these ought to be people that are already in the industry and have been already down this path before.
Right, so it's not just everyone at a dinner party. No. Hey, I've got this great new business idea.
No, okay. Strategic.
Okay, great. Last question, and I love this one also. It's about what is the right amount of workspace for your staff?
The average workspace for an employee is 250 square feet. With the changing dynamics in the workplace, how big should an employee's space be? And should we have private offices or should we have open workspaces?
Is there a perfect amount? What do you think?
Well, my office is completely open space. While they do have their own desk space, they can take their laptop, they can go to the patio, they can go to different conference rooms. I let them go, and they can even work at home if they want to. So I really believe that they really have to have the freedom to be able to do the best work for them.
And how close are the desks to each other? Is it just one long desk, or are they right next to each other, or spread out? Or?
They're spread out.
They're spread out.
I mean, and then we have vaulted ceilings, so it's really nice. We used to work in a place where the ceilings were low and the fluorescent, the energy was just just really, really bad. So
Right.
I really think that it's really important to just make people feel, and I'm in a creative business, and so you have to be in a place where you have lots of windows and lots of light.
Space. What do you think, Larry?
Yeah, well, I think that it depends on the organization, the type of company that you're in. If you're in a creative space, creative type of industry, then absolutely collaboration is key. I think, and so the more you can take down the walls, the better. If you look at organizations like Zappos, where Tony Hsieh, the CEO of the organization, doesn't even have an office. He's out in the bullpen with everybody else. That works for that organization. But if you're in legal or you're in law, yes, you need a little bit of privacy. But I think that even if you have walls and the door behind it, then we must find ways where people can collaborate. Collaboration is the key to success nowadays.
Right, but I think she's not talking about, you know, how much can you give them, but how little can you give them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that you got to figure out, you know, do people get along? I think that if you can have your job sharing with people, absolutely, you can be as close
And by
as
the way,
we are.
how loud is it?
Oh my gosh, I've
Right?
been in those
So-
organizations where it's like pandemonium. I can't do it personally, but other people can.
And I think the key is, too, if you're going to have one of these open plan offices, which we have also, and I think it's a really nice idea, our CEO as well, you have to have phone booths and conference
Absolutely.
rooms so people can go have important calls.
Well,
where
people
they need to be quiet.
forget about how important acoustics are
Yeah.
in the office.
Got it. Okay, great. Thank you guys so much for everything today. It was so nice to hear your advice. So good to see you both.
Great.
Nice to see
Thanks,
you.
JJ.